Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 17 of the Void Frogs Podcast. Podcast? Yeah, that's it.
Frogcast.
Yeah,
Frogcast!
My name is Stifflered, and I am joined by my co-host, the Q Working Magnet, and one very special guest.
Very special.
Disney,
Warner Brothers, Rolling Stone, Verizon all have one thing in common. They're super rich and have more money than us. But also, our guest today has worked with all of them and so many more. Through years of research and tireless hard work, he and his team have created some of the most impactful, that's not even a word, impacting maps in the world. Through his powerful blocky vision, we've celebrated a decade of Minecraft, explored the wonders of the ancient world, visited museums from our bedrooms, drove the Batmobile, and prevented citywide fires. Please welcome our imaginative guest, James from blockworks.
Hiya.
You did not realize that intro was going to be so long, did you?
Quite dramatic. That's fine.
Dramatic for the dramatic guest.
That's right.
You know what, James? I think I would put you on this pedestal of being the one Minecrafter who has managed to put his reach out further into the media, into the world than anyone else. I think your projects have gone through all these different IPs. That is a huge feat, and that's really inspiring, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Completely.
We're going to get into all of that. We are going to talk about all of your achievements, your research, your projects, the stuff you've done with universities and museums and big companies and all this stuff. We're going over all of it. This is going to be a 10-hour long podcast episode.
That's right.
But before we do that, James,
Yeah.
sir, would you mind just briefly telling everybody who you are and what you do and what is Blockworks?
Sure thing. So Blockworks is a digital studio or a company, or I don't know, we kind of call ourselves different things at different times, but we're essentially a group of people who make custom experiences in Minecraft professionally, so for money. And it's something that we started probably 7 or 8 years ago. And it wasn't just me, actually. There were 4 of us, 4 friends who started Blockworks, but I'm now the managing director of the company. And yeah, we do. So we're interested in doing things that really haven't been done before in Minecraft. So sometimes it's map making, sometimes it's creating kind of server experiences, sometimes it's live events and workshops. Yeah, and it ranges from kind of education and engagement to pure entertainment and, you know, more commercial projects for some of the clients you've mentioned, like Disney. So it's quite a wide range of things.
Yeah. Speaking of clients, here's the list for everybody out there. As I said, Warner Brothers, Disney. I saw Kellogg's. Man, Kellogg's, Lionsgate, Microsoft, obviously, The Guardian, which is a news publication. A bunch of ones I don't actually know, but they got nice. Oh, Dell, Tate Museum. There's a huge list on your website, blockworks.uk, right?
Yeah, I think we need to update it a bit, but it's,
oh, there's even more. That's right. And you're also on the marketplace. Yes. Okay, so first off, we like to get to know our guests a little bit. James, Mr. Delaney, are you have anything to do with Tom Hardy? I got to ask.
It's such a shame. Before that came out, my name was pretty good. You might see me on maybe the 2nd or 3rd page, but since that, my kind of SEO ranking has just plummeted. But that's fine. I think. I
thought you were going to say, that's that movie show is based on me. They had to come with the rights. That's my life before.
The adverts for that show in the UK were all titled "James Delaney is a dangerous man."
Oh, yes.
As soon as it came out, I got a ton of kind of people sharing that on Facebook towards me. But yeah,
what I'm actually lost. What show?
It's a show called Taboo, and Tom Hardy kind of plays this I don't even know how to describe him. He's kind of this brutal Victorian hard man in London who has some kind of connections to black magic. Yeah, he's a pretty
sounds awesome.
Significant character.
Based on James from Blockworks' life.
Absolutely nothing to do with me.
A no-nonsense. This is what the intro should have been. James Delaney of Blockworks is a no-nonsense former corporal of the East India Company with an inclination to violence and insubordination.
This is our most dangerous guest we've had yet.
Yeah, that's right. Be careful.
Goodness.
We should put Tom Hardy's face on the. Anyway, okay, okay. So, really privileged to have James. As I said, and I'm serious. I don't know of another Minecraft team has had a larger span. I started hearing about you guys. Well, first we met in Minecon, but hearing about you guys projects with Batman v Superman and Tomorrowland, these huge movie things and the museums. That's incredibly amazing. But before we get into that stuff, how did you actually start Blockworks?
Yeah, well, kind of by accident. I mean, it was we started as one of these teams, the creative build team. So people who would play on sort of Minecraft creative servers together. You know, we could make bigger projects if we worked together. And so I guess we were organized, as a kind of a creative server, which took things pretty seriously. And then from there, we kind of slowly got the opportunity to work for YouTubers and server networks. So that was when we were actually getting paid to do builds. And then the next stage on from that was kind of incorporating as a company and starting on projects that were coming from outside the Minecraft community. So clients, yeah.
How long did that take to go from starting just creative server up to incorporating the company?
That's a good question. I kind of need to check our portfolio to recap on that. It was a good, I think, 2 or 3 years where we were kind of focusing on sort of server YouTubers and that kind of in-community creation. Yeah. But then it kind of went forward pretty quickly. It was actually, I think, Microsoft saw one of our projects when they kind of took over Minecraft in 2014, 2015, whatever it was. And they commissioned us to do some work for some of their kind of, update releases and trailers. And that gave us a big kind of, push up, I'd say.
Wow.
And then and you started expanding your team. You said you started with 4 people. Yeah. And what are you at now? You're at 40 or something now?
Yeah, something around that. I mean, we fluctuate quite a lot. We're quite an informal company. I mean, when people think of a company, they think there's, like 40 people playing Minecraft in an office. It's not like that at all. We're more of a network of creators. People come and go depending on kind of the projects that we've got on. But I'd say, around 30 to 40. I mean, at one time we had maybe 60 creators, which was probably a bit too many to handle. But yeah.
Like on what? Not on one project?
Oh no, just working on kind of multiple projects concurrently. So in the team.
So you take a typical. Let's just take what is a good example? Oh, portfolio. I'm clicking on the website here. Okay. Fire of London. Okay. So that's one project. I think it was actually 3. There was 3 versions of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take the first one. How many people are typically working on this one for 1/3 of this map, this one particular map?
We maybe had 15 people kind of really dedicated on that.
Wow.
It kind of depends. And then you've got the creation. That map also involves some redstone mechanics. So Dragnos, who's another creator you probably know of, kind of worked on that. We also had Adrian Brightmore, who
good friend,
helped us a lot with kind of some scripting. So basically, for that challenge, we had to build out as much of medieval London as we could. And, there's the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of houses. So after we kind of created the main bits, we spoke to Adrian and said, if we give you, 20 varieties of sort of medieval houses, and we give you a road plan. Can you make a script that will rotate, copy, and paste those sort of algorithmically along the road plan? Which he did, and it came out amazing. So
he does. I'm gonna take a second to talk about Adrian, because he's been on a couple projects with me, and he's the type of guy who's like, hey, do you think you could maybe just like make it so I can just build a city out of this one block? Yeah, no problem.
Right.
Here we go, and generate this entire world. He's a genius. I love that guy so much.
And a lot of these projects are finding the smartest ways of working, because it's when you're kind of building at this scale, you really need to think, would creating a new custom tool, save us massive amounts of time? And normally it's yes, but
and that's one of the things with talking about the impact of your projects. It's not just that you're approaching interesting subjects and researching things, and also I want to ask you about the research of the Great Fire Map, but before that, your maps are sometimes humongous. They are massive maps. Just absolutely, like this thing behind me. If you're on YouTube, you can see there's a fist, and it's a huge fist on its own. But then behind the fist, there's a huge museum and a huge library, and it's just you can get lost in it. And a lot of your maps are actually incredibly huge, and I certainly would imagine that helps make them more impressive for people to want to share and spread around, and have that greater impact on outside of the Minecraft world. I would imagine that. But okay, that note aside, my question is, besides the building aspect of these maps, you also do a lot of research. So like on the fire map, the 1666 Great Fire of London, what kind of process was there to like research that before you even started building? Or did you guys just start building right away?
No, so there was a good amount of research done with the Museum of London themselves, who have a big archive on kind of written sources, so sort of writers who'd written about the city at the time, as well as kind of early drawings and etches. Basically, the Minecraft map we did is actually the first comprehensive model of London from that time. So there's not like a model that we can just copy. We have to piece together sources from written descriptions, etchings, drawings, all that kind of thing. Very early maps.
Wow.
And the Minecraft world is kind of the culmination of that. I'm not going to say it's like 100% accurate, but it was enough to satisfy the historians at the museum, which is good enough for us.
It's 110% accurate. We were actually putting blocks in that they wanted back then.
Right. So, I mean, some of our projects do need to be 100% accurate. So we're doing quite a few projects for Microsoft at the moment, which is building out their campuses, their offices worldwide. And in that case, every single table and chair needs to be accounted for in a campus in Seattle that has 50,000 employees. So that's...
Now I'm just imagining like the guy, I should have brought my construction hat. Anyway, the guy walks in. All right, boys, this wall's going up here. Hold on, let's get the blueprints out. Unroll, and it's a big Minecraft picture of blockworks. See, we got this this cauldron right here. Okay, move it over there.
Right.
Base the build off of the Minecraft thing. That's what always kind of there's people who make really nice looking builds and everything, but it's freeform. But you guys are able to take something real, and I don't know how you build it. How the heck do you? I remember talking. Okay, so I've met James before at Minecon, and here's a quote that he told me. I said, "You're not like, how do you do that? You're not doing that by hand." And he said, "Oh yeah, you just do it by hand." I said, "You got to be kidding me! How are you building these things?" I'm like, you had I think maybe your first map, giant dragon, or second map, something on your YouTube or something like that. There was a giant dragon. So that, for example. How do you go from nothing to that dragon?
I mean, I can do that. That's a very particular type of Minecraft skill. So in the building world, we kind of, most people would say there are three categories. You've got terraformers who are concerned with landscape and terrain. You've got kind of structural builders who are more the architecture and built form. And then you've got what are called organics artists. So that's where kind of things like statues of dragons and maybe trees, kind of natural forms would be built. I mean, those guys are real artists. There's no way that, I mean, a lot of the times you find great builders, structural builders, who just can't even think about doing a statue that looks half decent, because it's a completely different mindset. It's like, a sculptor and an architect. They're two different professions, two different kind of creative processes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are different techniques. Sometimes people work from like a big block and they kind of find the shape within it, just like a sculptor would. Sometimes they kind of do an outline of the dragon, so they do it in 2D, like a profile of the shape that way, and then kind of, fill in the gaps. It depends. People work in different ways.
It goes beyond my head. I found a website called Tinkercad, which have you used it?
I know of it. I haven't used it, but
you just take it's got somebody already made a 3D CG sculpture.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, you just download the convert to Minecraft thing and you can put it in your world and just update it. But I don't know how somebody does it from nothing to this amazing. Well, for example, the fist holding the pen there. I don't get it. I don't know how they do it. Beyond me. It's amazing.
Different way of perceiving the world, I guess. The Minecraft world. I've tried. I've tinkered around. I'm more of a terraformer guy. So even like buildings and structures and stuff, I'm just like, it's a box that looks great. Let's go.
Yeah.
In regards to like building a bumblebee, like I've seen Pearlescent Moon did this amazing huge bumblebee, and there's some like amazing organic artists out there. I have started. And then within maybe like 15 minutes, I just lose the patience for it entirely, because my mind just can't think in that way. But you give me like a mountain and I'll be like, hey, let's go. Let's make this a beautiful mountain.
I'm the same. I mean, I love building structures. Architecture is totally my thing, but I would never attempt a dragon, a fist, whatever it is. It's just, to me, it's so hard, which makes it super impressive. Yeah. What these guys do.
Yep. Hey, real quick.
This is the pro. Hey,
no,
1 second.
Okay,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
This is my issue with amazingly talented builders.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I ask them how to do it, in other words, I'm trying to ask them, tell me your magic. How I want to do it. They always say, you just got to work at it. You just got to do it.
So annoying.
It doesn't help me. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to ask you, we know how you got going with blockworks, but what made you decide to get into Minecraft to begin with? What was it? Did you join in and you say, I want to build the Eiffel Tower or the City of London one day? Or were you just gaming survival?
No, I got pretty bored of survival. I think maybe 2 weeks after I bought the game, I was pretty sick of it.
Wow, that's
I'm not much of a natural gamer, is what I'd say. I enjoy 3D environments. So, for instance, I'll get an Assassin's Creed game and I'll just spend ages kind of wandering around. That just entertains me. That's good enough. And so with Minecraft, I'd always loved Lego as a kid, and I was thinking about studying architecture, so that interested me. And really early on, you had these kind of viral videos of this guy who builds like the battleship Galactica in Minecraft. And I saw that and I was like, wow, okay, what if I wanted to build some of the cathedrals and amazing buildings that I really like? Or what if I wanted to make my own city? Could you do that with Minecraft? And of course you can. So I think pretty early on I knew that creative Minecraft was my thing.
Do you enjoy creating things that are real in Minecraft architecture, or do you more like to come up with your own imaginative take on what something should be?
Yeah, I prefer the more kind of imaginative process of building something original. I guess it's a difference between a craft and an art. So if you're recreating something that's real, That's a definite skill, but that's maybe more of a craft than an art, in that technically anyone could do it, right? If you
there he goes. You just gotta do it. Anyone can do it.
No, I mean, if you really took it slow, like block by block, there's no reason why everyone couldn't end up with the same recreation of an existing building. Obviously, there's like there's some interpretation that goes on from translating a building to something made up of these giant blocks, but more or less. When it comes to kind of designing, creating your own things, that's much more of an artistic process, which kind of interests me.
Yeah, you can definitely look up tutorials on how to build things, literally block for block by block even.
Nice.
You could really, like, if you make it happen, it would be like you're making blockworks for you. Blocks work. Block.
I mean, a lot of the best projects, the best kind of original projects, are based on real buildings in some way, because that's how our imagination works. We can't just invent forms out of nowhere. Our imagination is kind of something that comes from all the films and books and real buildings that we visited. So often in Minecraft projects, you'll kind of see, maybe that's where you got that idea from, and that's the same for all our projects, actually.
Yeah. How, if you can share, how many projects do you have going on, like, at any given time, and how many projects do you guys have going on right now? Do you have like 20 projects happening concurrently?
Good question. Now's pretty crazy. I say now's the busiest we've probably been in however many, 7 or 8 years, because of COVID-19. So basically, people are now realizing the importance of virtual environments. So now that everyone is kind of spending their entire working day on Zoom or Skype, they realize how boring these spaces are, because they're designed by software engineers. There's no architect involved in the design of these virtual rooms, because that just wasn't a consideration. But what if you can have your company's board meeting in Minecraft? What if your college tutorial can be in Minecraft? That's just so much more interesting. So that's where all of our new projects are coming in, is really making kind of a public virtual space out of Minecraft.
Okay, this might be a bit of a weird question for some people, but I've been taking an interest lately in emergent technology, going forward, virtual environments, and like child safety, privacy concerns, and things like that. As you're working on these projects for building virtual environments during this COVID-19 pandemic and everything that's going on, are you guys discussing, are you guys working or concerned about or thinking about those, like, we have this virtual environment, where is the data being saved? What privacy concerns do we have to keep in mind for people who are joining? What privacy concerns, child safety concerns do we have to be for people joining? Or are you really just focused on building the maps and delivering it to somebody else?
No, normally we have to kind of think about the whole project start to finish, which would involve the maintenance and setup of a server and all the security and privacy issues that go with it. But definitely, I mean, if it's a live project that has a server that people can visit to, we'd have to ensure some form of moderation. And the whole data question is, I mean, a really good question. A lot of the workshops we've run in the last few years, we've had to kind of keep up with GDPR rules and stuff. So kind of a registration of some form before you actually do anything on the Minecraft server is needed.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. There's definitely a lot of different approaches to it. And I know that you take things very seriously with a lot of your projects, like these research. I want to get to the research papers at some point, because they're so impressive. They're so detailed, and you aren't just looking at these servers and worlds as a creative outlet, but you also are like really diving in and looking at data and looking at history and looking at society and even like psychology with litcraft and getting people to read books more and all this types of stuff, and you take it so seriously. It's almost like you run a business. You're not just playing a game But we'll talk about that. I'm sure that we'll have some time, hopefully later on. But there's a lot of stuff on our list here.
We skipped
we've skipped so many things.
The beginning of it. What I should have opened up with.
That was you, Q. You jumped right.
I know. Here's what I was going to ask at the very beginning. Your old logo, maybe one of many old logos, kind of the clock gears thing flips over.
Yeah.
Is that come from blockworks? Is that related there? Is that how you come up with that word?
No. I'm just trying to remember how we did come up with the logo. It was so when Blockworks started, it was me and 3 others. And one of the guys called Toby, who lives in London. Everyone loves Toby, but he didn't really do any work. But very occasionally, he'd come up with something brilliant. And one of his only contributions was the name of the company, which we had to credit him for. And I think the logo as well was his idea, which is really annoying because it just does nothing and then comes up after we've been brainstorming for a week.
Sorry to bring it to you, Tony. You're finding this out for the first time.
I think works. I think it was, we were kind of, we had quite a kind of steampunky vibe going on. It's like, industrial processes. Maybe clocks, blocks, something in that. I don't know.
Blockworks. That's what I was skipped. I was curious about that.
Yeah.
But we had so many names before then. I mean, like creative cubes, creative blocks. A lot of those are actually now names of other marketplace teams. But
yeah.
Nice.
So you went from super popular YouTuber Delaney Craft YT and then decided, hey, let's start Blockworks and start doing projects. You never went the YouTube scene. That's pretty rare for or I guess you kind of did with the thing, but a lot of people in the build in Minecraft, I find they start out trying to do tutorials or doing let's plays or things like that. You just went straight into building.
I mean, one of our founding members, Block Fortress, was maybe one of the very early kind of creative YouTubers. He had a pretty good channel based on kind of tutorials and building. Then at the same time, you had kind of Fire UK doing the whole time-lapse thing. We were just more focused on projects. I mean, I'm not... to be a successful YouTuber, you need to be a performer of sorts. You need to have that kind of personality and way of sort of engaging with things, which wasn't really us.
No.
And I mean, it's a tough gig. YouTube, it's I'm not saying building is easy, but neither is being a YouTuber. So
it's interesting because I just see, I mean, lots of people in the, we'll call it the map making community, just try to do YouTube because it kind of went hand in hand with Minecraft, but it wasn't actually, you did do a little bit on your trailers. That's not what I'm saying. But anyway, I just thought it was an interesting thing that you kind of just dug into the building. The first time I had ever saw Blockworks, I believe, was the Fallout. It was like a, you like almost took the whole trailer and completely remade it in Minecraft.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I was blown away. I'm like, how did they do this? How is this possible?
Absolutely incredible.
What was that about?
We were going to start a server actually, and this is another thing that we kind of dipped our toes in, is making a Minecraft server. Can we, do a Hypixel? The answer is no. That's incredibly difficult, but we tried. So it's actually never been released or used in any way. But
really?
We pretty much built most of the Fallout 3 game world, which is a large part of Washington, D.C.
You haven't released this?
No, a full custom resource pack as well. We have a lot of projects that kind of fell by the way.
Exclusive What Frogs download link, please!
It was a really nice build. We had kind of all the vaults kitted out. We had all the icons, like, Capitol Building, Washington Memorial, amazing. Lincoln Memorial. We should do something with that. Yeah, maybe we will.
Wow. I mean, I don't feel too bad now. I feel a little bit better about myself because I have a lot of projects that I start working on and then I don't release them. So that makes me feel a little better. But man, the trailer alone is incredible. But to hear that you actually built out the most of the world and custom resource pack, everything is. That sounds like it's ready to go.
Yeah.
New blockworks
nice
server coming next week.
Yeah.
Let's go. Oh wow, that's very cool.
All right.
That's very cool.
Okay, let's talk about a few of your projects.
Sure.
Specifically. So after the Fallout, I think it was after the Fallout thing. So I might be getting my time because you've done so many projects, but I remember one which kind of blew my mind that somebody in the entertainment industry contacted you and got you to build Gotham and Metropolis, which it's not on camera. I'm a big DC fan, but you built these, or your team built these. How did you get we'll call them the corporate suits to take notice of you and say, hey, build this for our movie that has nothing to do with Minecraft?
Yeah, well, that was, I think, through Minecraft YouTubers, actually. So Maker Studios, which, are a Disney-owned company, also manage, or at that time managed, most of the largest Minecraft YouTubers. So Disney had already made that connection between sort of Minecraft YouTubers and their products and their films, and were already kind of pushing their adverts on top of Minecraft YouTube content. And so some bright spark had the idea to take it one step further and make custom Minecraft content that reflected the movie. So I think Tomorrowland was probably before that, and that was maybe the first large kind of film related project we did. Again, I think that was kind of largely through Dragnoz, who did the mechanics for the map, and we were more on the world building side. And then once that had gone out and was pretty successful, we had quite a few other projects follow suit.
You got to get any of these actors in these movies to play these maps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
George Clooney, hop in and go to Tomorrowland, do a Let's Play.
They should have done that. I think that's a missed opportunity. You don't see enough celebrities doing Minecraft stuff. Yep. And every now and again you do, but yeah.
I think the one girl from Game of Thrones, recently tweeted something about her Minecraft world or something like that.
Yeah, Maisie Williams, maybe. I think her brothers made her a birthday. It was her birthday, and they were socially distancing in the UK. And they made her a little kind of birthday cake on her family server, which is cute.
That's adorable.
But actually, a really great example of that recently, which most Minecrafters haven't heard of, is the South Korean Blue House, which is kind of like the presidential house, kind of like the White House. The president of South Korea and his wife appeared in this Minecraft film, which was to celebrate Children's Day, which is a big national holiday there. They normally, everyone gets the day off. Kids normally go to the Blue House, meet the president, all this stuff, which can't happen in COVID-19. So they built the whole of the Blue House in Minecraft, and they made this awesome trailer with the president and his wife kind of talking with their Minecraft skins. It's amazing.
That's so cool.
And it's all in Korean, so a lot of Minecraft, YouTubers haven't picked up on it, but it's a nice little project.
Wow, you got to check that out. That's sweet. I love seeing. One of the things that I love about a lot of your maps is they do get into history, they do get into culture, and I feel like, no disrespect to anybody out there who focuses on these styles, because these styles are still really great. But I feel like a lot of Minecraft.
So disrespected right now.
I know. A lot of Minecraft.
I'm leaving the show.
Really, you get a lot of medieval style stuff, which is again cool. A lot of European, or even when you talk about modern style builds, you get a lot of Western culture, US type architecture and stuff. And I absolutely love seeing other cultures and countries have that type of representation, and really allow us to explore these other places, and including the uncensored library. You get into that a little bit. You have some people who, some journalists from around the world in different languages that have their content available for free and publicly on this server, the Uncensored Library. But do you think that that the world, how can I phrase this question? Do you think that the world outside of Europe and North America, is there a lot of representation of these other cultures? Is there more to the Minecraft world than what we're seeing here? Have we just am I just blind to everything that's going on? Because something that I would really love to see is like ancient Timbuktu builds and like Ethiopian city centers and just stuff like that, like something outside of this box. And it's hard to find it. Have you found it?
Yeah, I think I've seen a few cases of it. I think it's largely due to the language barrier, but there's a massive sort of Asian community of Minecrafters, and the type of work that they do is completely different to anything that you will see from North American or European creators. And if you look at their projects, they're all trying to make Minecraft as realistic as possible. So resource packs, which are like ultra high definition, where they're remodeling every single block so that it's really not recognizable as Minecraft. And it seems like a very almost sort of cultural interest that they have, which we don't really have over here. And it's this whole amazing bubble and world that a lot of Western Minecrafters don't know about.
Do you have a thought about bridging that gap? Have you ever considered that? To open up that door to bring some of those builds or stories or architecture or anything into blockworks projects?
Yeah, it's a good question. Just trying to think of projects. I mean, we've got a few projects which have representations of different architectural styles and stuff. I feel like the marketplace is doing a fairly good job of that. Only recently you've started to see a lot of sort of Asian, creators and creators outside of the Western Hemisphere uploading their content. So you see some really nice kind of traditional Chinese and Japanese architecture projects on there. I mean, there are still areas of massive underrepresentation in Africa and a lot of other places. There's one project that I work on which is called Block by Block, which is it's not a project, it's a foundation, it's a non-profit institution, and we've run over 100 projects in those types of places specifically. So workshops across Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, disadvantaged urban communities. And it's not so much Minecraft content creation, but it's bringing Minecraft to those places and using it to improve public spaces in those cities. And I feel like that's something a lot of Minecrafters, sort of where we aren't really aware of. And we are looking to kind of bring those types of projects and content into the Western community, if we'll call it that.
I think that's incredible.
You're with this block by block. I've seen a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure what it is.
You're
going into a seminar classroom type thing, and the people are given a world that's already represents their city, and then they change aspects of it, or are they starting from nothing, or what's the kind of process on that?
Yeah, so it's a 3-day workshop, which is really about improving a public space. And normally a lot of these cities and slums don't have public spaces at all. So it's something that we kind of take for granted, especially, everyone now is complaining about not being able to go to the park because of COVID-19. Millions of people around the world never have a park to go to. So it's something we don't often think about. But the idea is, how can we let the people who will actually use the public space have a say in the design of it? Because normally it's kind of architects, city planners who do that, and they're probably not from the area. They're probably from a kind of higher, socioeconomic class. And, the people who actually use these public spaces are often no part of their creation. And Minecraft is a really unique way to do that because it's so easy to use. If you have a room full of people playing Minecraft, an architect is at no greater advantage than someone who has no training. So that's what we do. We create the site as it is in Minecraft. We then run a 3-day workshop, teach everyone in the workshop how to use Minecraft. And then in teams, they build what they want that public space to be like in Minecraft. The Minecraft model then gets shown to an architect who designs, who brings it together and does the final plans. And then the public space gets built. And all of that whole process is paid for by the foundation, block by block.
Wait. You're telling me, just to clarify, these things that are they kids or adults who are building?
Yeah, anyone.
Okay.
We try to get a broad section. So yeah.
Kids, okay. So these people who are in the workshop, they're actually building, and they take that build to an architect who actually makes it in real life. Yeah.
It's the only case that I've seen where Minecraft builds get translated into real life. And there's now over 1.5 million people who live within a 10-minute walk of a public space that was designed in Minecraft.
Oh, that is huge. I got the perfect idea. Next block by block workshop, have the kids build a giant void frog statue in the middle of the city square, and then the architect can put it in real life.
No, Q. It's based on their culture. They decide what goes there.
But I mean, yeah, you sometimes do get, the kids want to build a swimming pool or whatever, which is just not feasible. So, but that's okay because there's a large group of people. You'll have older people there. You'll have local architects and planners who can kind of guide the process. But I mean, that whole process is really my particular interest in Minecraft at the moment. So a lot of the research that I've been doing is about using Minecraft in kind of urban design and urban planning.
We're so used to seeing it as an entertainment device. It's just, that's a completely different field that no one's like, it's not conventional to think of it that way. And it's cool because you actually leave the world with something instead of just a video game.
Yeah.
That's blowing my mind.
And the thing is, for the people who do these workshops, Minecraft isn't a game because they haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
Right.
They probably haven't used a computer before, a lot of these people. So it is completely taking Minecraft out of its sort of area of intended use, and it's become a tool for public consultation, essentially. So it's just kind of a weird, happy coincidence that Minecraft is incredibly good at that.
I'm so glad that we were able to talk about this, even just for a few minutes, because this is the subject that the reason I wanted you to be here as a guest is because block by block and the work you're doing there is absolutely phenomenal. I'm a huge believer that Minecraft can go beyond just being a game or an entertainment system. Or even a game development platform, though we've talked about that on this show before.
Yeah.
That Minecraft as a game development platform, that it can actually have an impact on the world. I do have a question though. Q, do you have a park? Do you have a park within qmagnet within 10-15 minutes of where you live?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Doesn't have a giant void frog statue.
This is my point. Can we get Q's community?
Yeah. James, come to Canada. Get the kids to build a void frog statue of my park.
And it's in your community, so you have a say. You could go there and get your kids to build it.
That's right.
A good question. I mean, technically, yeah. Or you could just rebuild that whole neighborhood in Minecraft, and then you can put whatever you want in it. Because...
Well, I don't really want to bulldoze my house.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah. But you don't live in your Minecraft house, so that doesn't really matter.
We should live in a Minecraft house. I could have andesite on the wall.
I mean, the whole block by block project is about public space, but a lot of people don't realize that Minecraft itself is public space. You know, kids nowadays, a lot of them don't really go to the park. If they want to have fun and hang out, they go to Minecraft. So Minecraft is kind of this new digital public space that's completely kind of unique in the history of, you know, public space and city design that people don't really think about.
Yeah, for sure. Once you like my mind, when I start thinking about this stuff, I feel like I think in a different way. There's like something that clicks and you just start perceiving Minecraft in a totally different way. And you're like, wow, okay, this is a city. This is a virtual environment. This is the public park that kids are going to build friendships, to learn how to speak, to learn how to have social interactions with each other. I remember a video from Mumbo Jumbo back a couple of years ago, and he said there was a comment about things that Minecraft, like the reasons why Minecraft is great. And one of the most popular comments on his video was that Minecraft is great because it taught me English. It taught me how to speak English. Like, and when you start thinking of the game from that different perspective, it just totally opens up the whole world to you, like a new world to you. Do you feel that there are other people on your team or your different teams, Block by Block, blockworks, all, you know, the different groups that you work with, do they have the same perspective as you with this stuff? Or, you know, have you surrounded yourself with people with a similar vision, or are they really just in it because they want to build cool things, which are definitely cool, and that's a totally valid reason if that's the case?
That's a good question. I think we bring in a lot of people because they're interested in the content creation, and as you say, they like building cool things at Minecraft. But, you know, having the experience of working on these projects, they do perceive Minecraft in this different way. Really, it becomes kind of a living space. You know, builds in Minecraft, we often think they're just these like solid, static things like Lego models, but they're not. They're living spaces because there are characters in them. Yeah. You know, the fact that you explore or walk around a Minecraft build, anime brings it to life. That space is no longer static. It is a form of living space, and that's just a completely different kind of framework for understanding what Minecraft is, which is really key to a lot of our projects.
It's incredible.
Do you find so this is kind of like on a personal level, when I talk to people, just generic people who maybe aren't gamers or don't know anything about Minecraft, but they know the name, it's like they think it's for kids. They're like, oh, it's just a game. Do you get that when you tell people, well, we've planned a city park or whatever with Minecraft? Do you get this eye-opening reaction, or do some people brush you off that, oh, you just do Minecraft, just a video game for kids? Do you find that?
We get a bit of both. I think more and more people are understanding video games more in the mainstream. I think when Minecraft started, video games as a whole was still part of a subculture. You know, you say video games and people think, right, spotty teenage kid in his basement. But particularly in the last 10 years, that's not the case. I think most people would say, yeah, I've got an adult friend who plays video games, or video games are good for kind of de-stressing. And, you know, there are a lot of other ways of looking at video games. And now they're just kind of a form of media just as valid as film or books, or they've really hit the mainstream, and that kind of helps what we do, because we don't get that so much anymore. Oh, it's just a game. It's, you know, just for kids.
It's almost like they're not video games anymore. It's like you said, virtual environments. It's a very different thing than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, 5 years
right.
ago.
A lot of academics have looked at this, and they say the reason why video games have been held back so much in that regard, kind of how they're perceived in our culture, is because of the name video game. If it wasn't called a video game, called something else, it would have been taken more seriously as kind of a cultural form or an art form much, much earlier. But just where we are.
So you've worked. The reason I'm wondering about this, you've worked with some actual museums, which is kind of like a next level beyond entertainment,
right?
And how are they approaching you, or are you saying, have you ever heard of Minecraft? We can actually get kids interested in going to the museum. I'm saying actually a lot in this episode, aren't I? But anyway, I'm imagining a stuffy guy with a spectacle. I only care about art, and James comes in and says, listen, we can take Minecraft and like build your museum.
Yeah. So
how does that happen?
9 times out of 10, there's one person who works at the museum and they have a kid who is Minecraft obsessed. And they're looking over their kid's shoulder and they say, oh, okay, that looks kind of cool. And maybe they find out about a project that we've done or something. And they bring it to their superiors and they say, hey, have we looked at using Minecraft? The answer is probably no. And then they get in touch with us and it's my job to convince the kind of organizational or whatever level of seniority that needs it. It's very hard for us to approach a museum or organization and pitch Minecraft, because unless someone in the organization already has some kind of understanding, it's just other than that, it's just too much of a gap.
It's that video game mentality that you were talking about.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, the more projects we do, the bigger our portfolio gets, the easier that process becomes. So, I mean, pretty much all of our projects now are people approaching us. Yeah.
Huh.
Man,
it's just mind blowing.
I just want to say real quick, like, seriously, James, like, like my heart races a little bit faster thinking about the ability to impact lives with Minecraft and what you guys at Blockworks have done in order to do that, to get kids into museums. The uncensored library, it actually like might have made my eyes tear up a little bit seeing, because it is a beautiful concept, absolutely inspiring, and I love it. Do you think that more, how can I phrase this question? I don't even know how to talk anymore. Should more Minecraft build teams look in this direction, or do you just want to keep it to yourself? Everybody stay away. Keep doing.
I mean, we're very happy with what we're doing, but having said that, I think every creator, whether they're in a team or whether they're just playing on their own, should look at these projects and think, what can I do that's different? How can I change the world with Minecraft?
Yeah.
Because anyone can. It doesn't have to be a team. It doesn't have to be a commission. There doesn't have to be money involved. There are so many examples of great things that people have done just because they love Minecraft, and whether that's setting up a Minecraft server that is helps out kids with autism or whatever it is. There are plenty of these examples beyond what we've just done. But
absolutely.
A few things before we go to our rapid fire.
Yep.
October 2019, you had a Meet a Minecrafter feature on the Minecraft YouTube channel. Your kind of brief summary of your story.
Yeah.
Professional camera crew comes in, films you talking, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
How did that feel? How did you get contacted? How did you get involved with that? That's a pretty good feat.
Yeah, that was through a Block by Block, I think. So I'm on the board of Block by Block, is a non-profit that's run by a board of 10 directors, and the board is currently made up pretty much of people from UN Habitat, which is the arm of the UN that deal with urban environments, and they're all kind of the public space experts. And then on the other side of the board, you've got Microsoft and Mojang people who are all about Minecraft. And I'm the person on the board who kind of brings those two worlds together, because I know about Minecraft and my academic background is in urban design and planning. And yeah, I mean, people who are on the board, like Vu Bui, who's the guy basically running a lot of Mojang and Minecraft, thought it would be good to do a little feature on me. But yeah, I'm not too fond of cameras or films.
No?
Yeah.
I'm like, just sip your tea while we film you.
Right, exactly.
There was one, I watched an interview with a YouTuber, Vintage Beef, who's been on the show, and they're like filming him talking to his mic, and I'm like, man, that must be so uncomfortable, because you're not used to it's kind of a solo thing. Like, you got this camera in your face.
Yeah, you spend so much time in virtual worlds that it's really difficult when you get real sort of coming around. But no, it was good fun.
Yeah, I would not want them in my room. I have I have carpet up against a dresser right next to me, and I've got blankets all around. I'm like, nobody wants to see this.
Right.
I don't want that on camera. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a new thing in Minecraft. This is all the rage right now. It's called the Void Frogs Podcast. But other than the Void Frogs Podcast, there's all the rage right now. It's called RTX. Now, I had this explained to me by our was it our last guest?
It's our next guest that hasn't been released yet.
The last
the last interview.
Wait,
yeah.
You were involved in this. I still don't really quite grasp it because to me it's kind of like the shaders mod, but apparently a lot more powerful. How'd you get involved in that? What exactly is it? What did you do for it actually?
Right. I'm not a technical person, so I'll probably butcher this.
Perfect. Me neither.
So NVIDIA, the graphics card company, have a type of graphics card called the RTX graphic card, and not just Minecraft, but it helps with sort of graphics processing with a lot of games. And they've made a specific update to Minecraft for people who have this RTX card, which is, as you say, similar to what shaders do for Java Edition. So it's kind of ray tracing. You know, you can see God rays. You can actually see shafts of light. You've got reflections on water. You've got sort of emissivity, so things like torches and fire give off a really nice glow. And it just kind of takes the whole graphics to a new level. It's a much more kind of immersive way of playing the game. And for them, we had to build a showcase world, really, which you can download for free on the marketplace, providing you have the RTX card, which just shows off the best of what RTX does. Yeah.
Okay, so now you've kind of cleared something up for me. Just clarify this. It's kind of a big deal because on the Bedrock engine, and if you're not sure what Bedrock is out there, it's basically Xbox on your phone. I think PlayStation now is that.
PlayStation.
Everything that isn't the original Java version.
Yep.
They didn't have shaders. So all these sort of interesting shadowy and God rays and stuff, which was kind of doable in Java. Now this is a big new thing for them, and it's a way bigger player base. Is that kind of why it's so popular right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we often think these kinds of podcasts and Minecraft YouTubers in general, it's the online Minecraft community is largely Java based, I would say. Maybe that's because it's people who've been playing the game for the last 10 years. They've grown up with it. A lot of the Bedrock players are much younger. They're not really on Twitter or whatever it is. And then they might not be familiar with Java shaders. And it's the same when it comes to sort of gameplay for Bedrock. A lot of Bedrock players probably haven't played Diversity. They probably, don't know the whole rich history of map making in Java. And maybe a lot of that's to do with age. It tends to be quite a younger audience, kids kind of playing on their parents', iPad or iPhone or whatever. So this is a big thing for them, I think. Yeah.
There are shaders for Bedrock Edition that you can install, not on all devices. But like I've got them on my PC and my Windows 10 PC, and also on my phone. I was able to install them, but it's a little bit of a more difficult process, and it doesn't look nearly as good as the RTX stuff. But I'm wondering, do you now with RTX and with the shaders and stuff, are you building? Do you build differently when you have that in mind, or are you still building just exactly the same way as you would maybe even without RTX, without shaders?
Yeah, with RTX, it's a slightly different process. It's particularly when it comes to gameplay, there are certain things that you can do with the game mechanics or gameplay with RTX. So, for instance, a ray of light that shines on a block, which is kind of the answer to a puzzle, that kind of thing is just not possible anywhere else. And really, maybe it's a reflection of something that, reveals a puzzle, whatever it is. So there are interesting ways of incorporating gameplay, which, haven't really been possible, even with shaders, which don't have the same kind of quality of graphics.
Interesting.
And also, I guess it's more of an emphasis on sort of tight interior spaces. RTX looks great everywhere, but it's particularly good in kind of up-close encounters, like cozy interiors where you can see kind of the crackling of the fire. So it forces us to pay real close attention to those smaller scale spaces rather than just kind of focusing on the big kind of zoomed out, mega build scale that we usually work with.
Yeah. Wow. We are, in just a couple of minutes, we're going to jump over into another segment, but Q, do you have anything that you want to bring up?
Yeah, I got one thing to finish it up with here.
Let's go.
Which is a great finishing thing to talk about. You had James, you had, what would you call it? Quite a responsibility presented with you with the 10 years of Minecraft map that you did, which is like encompassing of all of Minecraft with a huge, is it going to be good, which also came out when kind of exactly when Minecraft resurged, it seemed.
Yeah.
How many buckets of sweat did you go over that? Like, were you kind of nervous? I'm sure you had deadlines.
That was tough. Yeah, we only had a few months, and it was also we were working on releasing that map in Java and Bedrock concurrently because we wanted this to be something for the whole community, and they're completely different game mechanics. Completely different kind of build updates, different blocks you can use. It was a tough one, and then also getting as much as we can in there that reflects the history of the game, the community, whilst also clearing it with sort of Microsoft and Mojang, making sure they're happy with it. Yeah, I'd like to revisit that. Maybe a 15-year anniversary. We could get a lot more in if we had more time. But
you're gonna have to. It's 5 years. There's a lot more stuff coming out by then.
So how did you get involved with that? Like not everybody got to do that. You guys got to do that. Why blockworks?
I mean, we were asked to. I'm not sure I can I can comment on why we were lucky enough.
They came to me first. They're like, "Can you do this map?" And I'm like, "Well, actually, talk to my friend James because
we've been lucky enough. We've done a lot of projects for Minecraft, a lot of which are kind of more behind the scenes. So, for instance, unveiling the Minecraft HoloLens demo at E3. We did the build for that. It never took off, but we did the build for it. Sometimes, maybe a couple of years ago, there was a Windows screensaver that was a Minecraft build, and we did that. So we've done lots of bits and pieces that's more kind of sitting in the background of Microsoft's and Minecraft's kind of marketing and promotion. So yeah,
it's very cool. Did you hear the humility in his voice? You say why blockworks, and he's like, well, because he's good. He's good at what he does. All right, that's why he was asked.
He's very good at what he does. Every week, I look at the people who I really want to talk to, have them on the show, and I'm like, am I going to be able to make this person laugh? Is this person going to be sarcastic? Is it going to be humble? James is going to be a quiet guy, but I'll try and poke him a bit. Anyway. So that's kind of a good, a really great subsection of blockworks. We have way more questions I wanted to go through, but we'll have to have you back on. We are going to go be inspired. Go be inspired by him. Go read his research papers. Look at his maps. Yeah, you learn more stuff than we can cover today. Because. Now, just in case James is thinking, "Oh, good, we're done. I'm done." We're not done. We're not done yet. We're going into what should we call it? The block fire round. I think just rapid fire is fine this week. Rapid fire round. Rapid fire round. Everybody's favorite 5 random question segment on the Boy Frogs question. This is going to put you on a personal level. You got to come up with some answers, James. Yep. Okay. And they're not about any of your history. They're just random, fun questions. Yep. Got it. We want to put you into the tough mindset. Wait,
It's not rapid fire. It's rabid fire.
Rabid fire.
Rabid.
I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry.
So is it one word answers, or do I have a time limit?
You can. Well, it used to be called rapid fire, but everyone we're giving 4 paragraph answers, so we changed it to rabid fire.
Okay.
You can take as long as you want. So, question number 1.
Right.
You can choose one fictional character from any book you've ever read to spend a day talking to them. Who would you choose?
Damn, that's hard. Probably someone historical that I could learn from rather than Gandalf. I mean, I'm sure Gandalf's great, but he's not gonna.
Gandalf is great.
Is a great answer.
He's good, but he's only good as Tolkien who invented him. So
that's true.
I don't know, maybe what I don't know. I'd look for the gaps in human knowledge. What do we not know enough about? So I don't know, some Alexander Gray, or I don't know. That's not a great answer, but it's an answer.
What's your answer?
Give me 5 seconds.
This is only the first question, James.
I know, this is so tough. Who built the pyramids? I really want to know how they did that. Is that Ramesses II? Something like that. Yeah, I'll go with
the Egyptian slave lord.
Yeah.
I see. How do I get my team to build all my stuff for free? Whip.
That's it. Yeah. Goodness. Well, the question was fictional character, but I'll accept that. I'll accept
I missed
that.
that. If it's fictional, I'll go back to Gandalf because
Gandalf.
Anyway.
Hey, you know what though? That is a quote right there. The smartest character in a book is only as smart as the author who wrote them. That's deep. That's deep, bro.
That's why it's not rapid fire.
That's why.
Question 2.
Question number 2. All right.
Blowing things up a lot.
Excuse me. You are now a wrestler and about to enter the ring against me for your first match.
Yeah.
The announcer will introduce you by your full name with an absolutely ridiculous middle name in an epic voice. As I come up, for example, the announcer booms, "In this corner, weighing in at 350 pounds of pure muscle, Tim the coffee annihilating Stifler." How would you be introduced?
Good one. I guess James Block Smasher Delaney, something like that.
Nice.
You got to go with the epic voice.
Smasher.
We need the epic voice. I need to put an echo on it.
I'm not naturally predisposed to epic voices, but I'm not.
That's fine.
Gifted in that way.
I'll put it in afterwards. I'll modify your voice how you just said it.
Block Smasher Delaney.
Yeah, that's better.
That's pretty good.
I thought you were gonna go with the insubordinate and violent Corporal of East India, James Delaney.
Oh, that again.
Nice. Yeah. Tom Hardy.
Right. Question number 3. The yogurt. Do you have yogurt in England? Are you in England? You're not in England, are you?
Yeah, I'm in England.
Oh.
London, yeah, we got yogurt.
All right, so the yogurt in your fridge has become sentient somehow and has told you that it can solve all the world's problems if you bring it to the world's leaders.
Cool.
It can only speak through you, but will only reveal its secrets on a world stage. What?
I hate yogurt. Oh my god.
You hate yogurt.
Yeah, I really hate yogurt.
I hate this, but it's actually got the answers, guys.
I'd be holding it at a distance. Is the question what platform would I bring it to, or what problem would I?
You gotta take the yogurt and solve the world's problems.
Yeah, you know, it just says that it needs to be on a public stage. Do you take it? But I mean, there's this question, right? Of like, are you crazy? Yeah.
I mean, Well, I could hide it, couldn't I, and just pretend to be speaking.
That's clever.
I would just put it in my little backpack and come up with a cure for coronavirus or something.
And just... Yogurt is the cure for...
Could be.
You know how they say there's so much misinformation?
Oh, yeah. About everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
It's out there. Void frogs cure coronavirus.
No.
Okay, question number 4. Let's move on from that. That's a good answer, though. You can hide it. Yeah, I never actually thought of it. I was like, if I was gonna do it, I would probably just eat the yogurt, because I was like, I would think that I was going crazy.
Yogurt. He hates yogurt.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for me.
Toss it in the bin. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's what I would do.
James, you don't realize this, but we were taught by Helen that the British say bin, not trash bin. So he's trying to connect with you. I speak English.
Trash bin. Do you guys say trash bin? I thought you said trash can.
I say trash can.
Oh, yeah, trash can, too.
You forgot. You forgot what we say.
I'm smashed in the middle.
Right. Question number 4.
Yeah.
I'll make you a deal.
Mm-hmm.
You can instantly teleport anywhere in the world. Yeah. But for every day that you leave your house, even for a moment, you lose a day of your lifespan. Do you take the deal?
I love to travel, so I would take the deal and get a mobile home so I could just move around.
He's so clever. So clever.
That's good. Hey, all right. Cool.
Or just get like a little boat that I can kind of sail around.
That's the thing. That is the teleport device, is the mobile home.
Yeah.
You could make like who was that guy? Ancient Greek Diomedes. I don't. The cynic. He lived in a pot. That's all he did. He lived in a pot.
Yeah.
Diogenes. Yeah. Live in a pot. That's all you need.
Question number 5. I haven't even read these until now. What are you coming up with here? It says, I have a series of words for you here, James. Yeah. After I say each word, tell us the first word that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Sure.
Tree.
Leaf.
Dog.
Cat.
Oatmeal.
Porridge.
International Space Station.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, that's a good one.
No. I don't know. I have no thoughts on the International Space Station. I think it's great. Yeah, great.
I'm going with the Jesus. I like that answer. Pit.
Sorry, pit.
Pit.
Pit. Fire.
Flagel Buffin.
Sorry, do that one again?
No, don't worry about it. I'd never heard of that word before. He just made it up. For rapid fire this week. Did you enjoy that, James?
That was good, yeah.
Stretch your mind. Well, because this is the last segment of the Void Frogs podcast, and now you're going to be on the hot seat for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Time for Void Trivia.
Void Frogs Trivia. Get ready for it, James. We have here for you, Know Your Stuff is the category for this trivia.
Sure.
We have 5.
Know your stuff.
Your stuff, yep. We have 5 questions for you. I've got a timer in my head, okay? And you can answer the questions, try to get them right. If you get all 5 of them correct, I'll give you a virtual high five.
Nice. Sounds good.
Pretty good winnings. So yeah, let's get into it.
The certificates are no longer in the budget. Is that what it is?
That's it. We've had to slice the budget, the time budget, the certificates,
digital certificates.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 1. Know your stuff trivia.
Know your stuff, James.
Oh, there's a lovely bird singing. I don't know who that was.
That's nice. Yeah.
Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. One of my favorite movies. is a 2016 Warner Bros. Film that pits the two most famous superheroes against one another in cinematic glory. Midway through the plot, Batman and Superman fight, with one of these heroes nearly ending the other's life until the battle is stopped. What widely mocked reason, for terrible reason, what widely mocked reason ended this fight between comics' greatest heroes?
So I've never seen any of the films that we've done any work for, and
James, know your stuff.
I know, so I'm not going to do well here. But there was even a film we did called Wonder, where there was a segment in the film which had a kid playing Minecraft, and the film studio said, "Can you make us something that like this kid would build?" So we did, and we actually got in the end credits of the film, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
But I didn't even see that. So.
This is gonna
I
go great.
have no idea.
You don't know how they stop fighting. Are you
so
serious?
It's Batman and Superman.
It's like a meme.
Why would they stop fighting? Why would they be fighting? Why are they fighting?
This is gonna be great because you haven't seen the movie. Wait till you hear this answer.
Okay, just tell me.
Go ahead, Q.
It's your question.
Oh, it is. It's because Batman and Superman have the same mother's name. Their mothers have the same name.
Yeah.
But okay. So people make a joke about that. Right. They have the same mother's name, and so they stop fighting.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, but no. Let me set the record straight here real quick. Okay?
What?
They didn't stop fighting because they have the same mother's name. Okay? The fact that their mothers had the same name. No. The fact that their mothers had the same name clicked in Batman's head. Oh, he has a mother, like he's like me. He is a being, and I shouldn't try to kill him just because he's super powerful. This is one of my favorite movies ever. I've seen it like 45 times. I'm sorry, James. I had to take over that for a moment. All right.
Okay.
Know your stuff. Question 2. You're 0 for 1.
Well. I don't know my stuff.
In 1666.
Okay, yeah.
London was devastated by a fire that raged for days.
Yeah.
Destroyed many homes.
Yeah.
From this event, people learned many valuable lessons which would contribute to the prevention of future fires breaking out. Yeah. Many structures at the time had been built with wood and what other type of material which contributed to the spreading of the fire so quickly?
Would that be like daub, so like mud and straw, that kind of compound material was quite popular then? Or like thatch, or I don't know what you call it. Very good.
Yeah, you got it. Straw was really what we were looking for, but you said the mud and straw. Yeah.
He knows it.
You know your stuff.
Nice.
Look at you.
Great.
You know your stuff.
So proud.
I'm going to change up this question a bit.
Oh, come on.
Because he says he's not a movie guy.
Stuff.
But he says he's not a movie guy, so I'm going to change this up just a bit, okay? All right.
Okay.
I'm completely rewriting it in my head right now. It's going to be great. Your Fallout MC server trailer from July of 2015 is a near match based on the teaser trailer for the 2008 Bethesda video game Fallout 3. Perfectly emulating the visuals of the trailer and even using the same music. After the camera pans out, the screen goes black, and the well-known Fallout tagline is heard. War never changes. Yeah. This line is voiced by a well-known Hollywood actor.
Oh, that's a good one.
His name.
It's in my head.
You have his name? Because I'll not rewrite the question anymore if you think you know his name. The original question was, what is his name? But I have another way to phrase this if I'm
not going to get that.
This line is voiced by a well-known Hollywood actor, Ron Perlman, who also starred in a franchise of movies as a superhero.
Okay.
What is the name of his, and also comic books, and he was
comic book superhero.
Yep.
Kind of demon from.
Yep. A demon from below.
Oh, Jesus.
Smokes a
And it's
cigar.
a franchise. So it's like a series movie, right?
There are
2 movies.
two of them with him, and then they recently remade it or rebooted it.
Yep.
Damn, it's really bad. I've never heard of Ron Perlman though, so I can cancel out all the kind of superhero actors that I know, which isn't very many. Can you give me a clue?
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue.
DC, Marvel, whatever.
It's neither. I think it's actually Image. Maybe I will look that up.
I think
for
it
you.
might be Image. He is what you might call a boy.
Dark Horse Comics.
Dark Horse Comics. He's what you might call a boy from hell.
A boy from like a Lucifer kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
I'll give you like 5 more seconds. A boy from hell. I think we'll go ahead and close that one off. Hellboy is the name of the
Hellboy. Yeah, you were hinting pretty hard there.
Watch some of your movies.
I tried so hard. I'm sorry.
All right.
You're doing great, James. James, I believe in you. You've got 2 more questions left.
You'll get the next one. It's not a movie question.
That's
okay?
okay.
You'll get this one. I believe in you.
Great.
All right.
I'll do my best.
Blockworks created a map to showcase 2016's The Friendly Update for Windows 10 edition of Minecraft.
Yeah.
The map is a working Rube Goldberg machine, a device that depicts needlessly complicated gadgets performing simple tasks in indirect, convoluted ways.
Yeah.
Rube Goldberg was actually a real American man who became known for his machines because of his occupation as a what?
I don't know. I want to say plumber. I don't know.
Plumber. There's some pretty fantastic people who are plumbers.
What'd you go? What was the guess?
I mean, he's obviously a smart guy, but what occupation would drive him to make needlessly convoluted machines? Some kind of engineer? I'm not going to get it.
Nope.
What's your final answer? No.
I think that. What's that?
No, go on. I'm clutching at straws.
Q should be quite pleased that you called him a plumber because he's a very intelligent man. His occupation.
I think that's worth a point, even if it's not correct.
Absolutely, I think that's worth a point. Then you got 2 out of 4 right now. Ding, ding, ding. Good job.
His occupation was actually a cartoonist. So he would make these drawings of these crazy contraptions, and everyone called them Rube Goldberg machines.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Know your stuff, James.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We've gotten really hard. The last few guests that we've had on, we've gotten really, really difficult. We've not shown you guys any mercy. So, you know what? I might just add on a couple more points for you, just because we've been real mean to everybody. Yep. Question number 5. Question number 5.
5?
This is the last one.
Okay.
Last question. Tomorrowland, another movie.
Which I didn't see. Yeah.
It's a 2015 Disney sci-fi family film inspired by the theme park section of the same name. In the film, Frank, the central character, explains that Tomorrowland is a place in an alternate dimension created by 4 famous real-life scientists with the purpose of uninterrupted scientific experimentation and inventions. Name one of these scientists.
Again, didn't watch the film.
That's okay. Name any of the most famous scientists in the world.
That's right.
Okay, I could take a pretty good guess. I mean, yeah. Einstein, Newton, one of those.
Not either of those. Anyone but those.
Anyone but those.
Like how far going back? Like throughout human history?
Oh my gosh.
maybe like a light bulb might pop on in your mind if you think about like
Edison.
Hey, nice. Excellent work. I'm proud of you.
Also, Gustav Eiffel of the Eiffel Tower, Jules Verne, Nikola Tesla, Thomas Edison.
Okay, I didn't know Jules Verne was a scientist. I thought he was just
Well, he's a scientist in the storyline, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. He's a novelist, yeah. Anyway.
You can only draw so much from Wikipedia, you know?
Right, yeah.
Now you have a lit. So you have to go home tonight, or you are home tonight. You have to go tonight and curl up with the wife and watch Batman v Superman, and then Hellboy, and then finish it off with some Tomorrowland. So you're ready and all knowledgeable about the plots.
Sounds good. I mean, I didn't watch the films because I got so sick of watching the trailers that we had to watch to know what world we're going to look like.
Yeah.
So Tomorrowland, I think I watched that trailer, I don't know, over 100 times, kind of dissecting each frame.
Wow.
So I know a lot about where it was filmed and the architecture of it, but yeah, beyond that.
You're building a legacy. Our Zed, our previous guest here on the show that we just released, he's building a legacy. It's these movie questions. You know, you smart guys who are doing big things don't have time for movies. You know, that's what I'm learning. So you know what? I'm changing my life. I'm not watching movies anymore. That's
no more.
No more movies. I'm done. But I will give you. I do want to open up the floor for you, James. Before we close out, if you wouldn't mind. Thanks for playing Void Frogs Trivia, by the way. Good job. You got, I think 5 or 6 out of 5 is what we were giving you.
That's right.
Great job.
So you get a virtual high five from me, pal.
Woo!
If you don't mind, if you being one of the most influential build teams that has affected people outside of the gaming community around the world, do you have a few words that you might be able to give to people who want to create something that impacts the world? Like a tip, some advice, some encouragement, anything at all that you might be able to share with them before we close out?
God, that's a tough one.
It's a big subject, isn't it?
I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, as well as I think it's Nike's advertising thing, but you know, just do it.
Sponsored by Nike.
I said, how do you do this? You just do it.
Yeah.
It's either going to work or it's not going to work. But if you don't try, it's definitely not going to work. And Minecraft's good for that. It's a safe space. You can't fail in Minecraft. You can make something that's not great, but yeah, just do it. Just give it a go.
Cool. I love it.
Give it a go. Good. Direct quote.
Shoot your shot.
Are you accepting any new team members if people want to join Blockworks?
Yeah, all the time. Our applications have been open since we started, so we get a lot of applicants and we check through all of them. But yeah, we're always on the lookout for builders, map makers, redstoners, graphics designers, architecture students, anything.
Just have a portfolio, send them in. Where would they send if they want you to look at their stuff?
The contact page of our website has an application form at the bottom, and yeah, we'd be happy to hear from you.
Blockworks.uk.
Yeah, that's the one.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Where can people find you? On Twitter? I don't know if you do YouTube at all. Where's the best way to follow you on social media?
Yeah, Twitter's probably our best. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. Our website's pretty up to date, and we have a YouTube channel. We don't really use it, but we have a few videos on there.
You post your
posts. We'll put links in the description or show notes and all that sort of thing. To contact,
it's mostly just
you or check out the stuff.
Blockworks, right? It's just like twitter.com/Blockworks.
It's a bit annoying. Twitter is Blockworks YT. Facebook is Blockworks MC, and Instagram is just Blockworks.
Wow.
Excellent.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a Japanese software company beat us to kind of the pure Blockworks tag. And anyway.
That's a bummer.
Sorry.
That's a bummer. Well, thank you so much.
And if you are looking to bridge the gap between finance and digital assets, you can go to blockworksgroup.io, which has nothing to do with James.
Yeah, actually, ever since kind of the whole blockchain thing, our kind of SEO ranking went down because it's like block everything now. Blockworks, any blockchain firm. That's kind of the way to go. But anyway,
there's only one block smasher.
That's true.
I also highly encourage you guys go to the Blockworks website and check out the research papers that are there. I think you've got thesis paper on urban development, and you've got like Minecraft research and things, literature and stuff like that. Really, really in-depth, really interesting stuff from James and from other people on his team and other people at other organizations, as far as I can tell. Really, really great. So go check that out. And also, make sure you subscribe to us, the Void Frogs, here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. Follow us everywhere you get your podcasts, and here on youtube.com/thevoidfrogs. You can also follow us at twitter.com/thevoidfrogs. We're also on Facebook. We're not on Instagram, but we do have a website, thevoidfrogs.com. We look forward to hearing from you. If you guys enjoyed this chat, please let us know. Send us a tweet. Leave us a comment. Send us an email. It's all right there at thevoidfrogs.com. Thank you all for listening today. Thank you again, James, so much for being an inspiration and for joining us here on the show. Really appreciate it.
No. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, good fun.
Totally. Great. Absolutely. We'll see everybody around in the next episode. Peace.
Woo! See ya. Stay safe.